All right, so are you ready to dive into some seriously thought-provoking journal prompts today?
Oh, I'm definitely ready. Let's get deep.
We've got 50 of them straight from LeStallion's blog. And you wanted to really up your journaling game and
Yeah, for sure. I think journaling is so powerful, but sometimes I struggle with knowing what to write about.
oh yeah, totally get that. It can be kind of like staring at a blank page.
Exactly.
But LeStallion frames it more like using targeted
To
questions.
uncover deeper self-understanding or
Yeah. And not just like recounting your day, but analyzing, dissecting, really grappling with some big questions.
so much more than just like Dear Diary kind of stuff.
Exactly. And they're all about the benefits too, like
Mm.
clarity, processing emotions better.
Even finding those hidden patterns in our thinking.
Okay, so ready to jump in. There are 5 categories: personal growth, emotions, relationships, dreams and aspirations, and embracing change and growth.
Wow, that's quite the roadmap. Where should we start?
Let's go with personal growth. I feel like it lays the groundwork for everything else. And prompt number 1 is like right out the gate, deep stuff.
Oh, what is it?
What has been one significant challenge you've overcome in the past year? Reflect on how it has shaped you and what you've learned from the experience.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one. Gets you thinking, right? We often just want to get past the challenge, but this makes you stop and think about it.
Yeah, like what did you learn about yourself? What strengths did you discover? How did it change your perspective?
Because honestly, sometimes those are the biggest leaps forward.
LeStallion even says every struggle is a lesson in disguise.
I love that.
Okay, prompt number 2 is think about a moment when you felt truly proud of yourself. What did you do to reach that point, and how has it impacted your confidence since then?
Celebrating those wins. We're always focused on what we haven't done, but this is like, hey, bask in it a little.
And acknowledge all that effort and dedication, right?
Yeah, totally. And that confidence boost is huge. LeStallion says recognizing what we're capable of empowers us to take on even bigger challenges.
All right, ready for some feelings. Next category. Emotions.
Getting real now.
LeStallion doesn't hold back, like prompt number 1 here. What is one emotion you tend to avoid? Why do you think this is? And how could facing that emotion help you grow emotionally?
Ooh, already feeling a little squirmy just hearing that one.
Right. But LeStallion says those avoided emotions are often the keys to growth.
Makes sense if you're always running from something.
They write, facing your fears and insecurities head on is the path to true liberation.
Powerful stuff. So it's about understanding those emotions, where they come from.
And how they might be holding us back.
Oftentimes just acknowledging them helps.
All right, on to relationships. I'm so curious about what LeStallion has for us here.
Me too. Relationships are like the heart of everything, right?
Right, and they frame it as examining those dynamics.
Both romantic and platonic, yeah.
So prompt number 3 really stood out to me. How do you express love to those you care about? Reflect on how your way of showing love aligns with your values and the needs of those around you. This is like so relevant for me right now.
I feel that. We often assume we're doing it right, but love is different for everyone.
Totally. LeStallion even mentions love languages.
Understanding your own and the ones those you care about have.
It's about being intentional, not just feeling it, but showing it in a way that resonates.
Oh, yeah. And are we showing up authentically? Do our actions match our values?
Okay, prompt number 5 digs deeper. What qualities do you value most in a friend or partner? Reflect on why these qualities are important to you and how they strengthen your relationships.
Love this one. Defining those non-negotiables.
And understanding why they matter so much. How do they contribute to your well-being and connection?
And then you start attracting people who embody those values.
Totally. You invest in connections that really mean something.
This is so good. I'm already feeling inspired to journal.
Me too. And we've only just begun. There's so much more to unpack.
Can't wait to keep diving in.
Awesome.
Okay, so ready to keep exploring these relationship prompts.
Oh yeah, I'm hooked. Like, LeStallion really emphasizes how self-awareness is key for healthy relationships.
Right. They say you can't really connect with others until you've connected with yourself.
Makes total sense. You need to know your own needs, values, how you communicate.
Before you can even begin to navigate the complexities of a relationship.
Exactly. So these prompts are all about examining those internal landscapes.
So we can show up authentically and intentionally.
All right, so where to next?
Okay, how about prompt number 4? What is one boundary you need to set in a relationship? Reflect on why this boundary is important and how setting it will benefit both you and the other person.
Boundaries. So crucial, but also so hard sometimes.
Right. But LeStallion talks about how they're not about shutting people out
It's about protecting your own well-being.
and creating that space for mutual respect
So it's about clear communication, setting those limits.
that honor both your space and the other person's.
Okay, this one, prompt number 7, it's powerful. Reflect on a time when you felt truly seen and understood by someone. What made that experience so special, and how can you foster that feeling in your other relationships?
Ugh, that feeling of being truly seen, it's just...
So powerful.
LeStallion says it's deep listening, empathy, vulnerability.
Like creating that space to be your true self without judgment.
And it's not just about finding those people who make you feel seen, but being that person for others, too.
Right. Being better listeners, practicing empathy.
It's got to go both ways.
Okay, ready for a shift? Dreams and aspirations. Here we come.
Ooh, yeah, tapping into that inner fire.
Prompt number 1. What is one big dream you have for your future? Reflect on why this dream is so important to you and how you plan to achieve it. I love that it's not just dreaming, but strategizing, too.
Yeah, moving from what if to how can I.
LeStallion even says to break those big goals down into smaller steps.
Right. It can feel overwhelming otherwise. They say the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
That's where a lot of people get stuck, that first step.
But these prompts, they focus on the journey, not just the end goal.
Finding joy in the pursuit, even when it's tough.
Love that.
Okay, prompt number 3. Write about a time when you took a risk to pursue something you're passionate about. What did you learn from that experience, and how did it shape your understanding of your own capabilities?
Taking those leaps of faith, even when you're scared.
Because even those so-called failures, they teach us so much.
LeStallion says every setback is an opportunity to course correct and come back stronger,
It's all about resilience, adapting, learning.
which ultimately leads to success.
Okay, time for our final category, embracing change and growth.
Which, let's be real, is kind of the theme throughout all of this.
Totally. LeStallion is all about accepting change as a part of life.
And learning to handle those transitions smoothly.
Not resisting it, but dancing with it, right?
Beautifully said. I think so much of personal growth is about that.
Embracing the unknown, adapting.
Totally.
Okay, prompt number 1 here is intense. Write about a time when you embraced a major change in your life. How did it transform you, and what did you learn from the experience?
Change is easy to romanticize, but it can be really hard.
Letting go of the familiar, stepping into the unknown.
But LeStallion says those tough transitions often lead to the most growth. They even say the cracks are where the light gets in.
Such a beautiful metaphor.
Right. It's in those moments when we feel broken open that we really transform.
Okay, prompt number 4. What is one habit or belief that is no longer serving you? Reflect on how letting go of this habit or belief could create space for new growth and opportunities.
We all have them, those things we cling to, even when they're not good for us anymore.
LeStallion is all about examining them with a critical eye.
Asking if they're helping us or holding us back.
Sometimes letting go is the best thing we could do for ourselves.
Create space for something new and better.
Wow, we've covered a lot of ground.
And there's still more to come.
So much good stuff, right? And we're back for the final part of our deep dive into LeStallion's journal prompts.
I know. Can you believe we're already on the last part? It feels like we just started.
I know, right? Time flies when you're having deep, meaningful conversations.
That's for sure.
But okay, we're still on that theme of embracing change and growth.
Which, honestly, it just keeps coming up, doesn't it, in all aspects of life?
It really does. And I think what strikes me about LeStallion is they don't sugarcoat it. They acknowledge that growth can be, really uncomfortable.
Yeah, for sure. It's not always easy or fun.
But they also remind us that those tough times, those are the times we transform the most.
The magic happens in the mess, as they say.
Something like that, yeah.
So what's calling to you from these last few prompts?
Okay, this one, prompt 6. Write about a time when you unexpectedly had to adapt to a new situation. How did you navigate that, and what strengths did you discover in yourself? It just makes me think about how, life rarely goes according to plan.
Oh, tell me about it. It's all about being able to roll with the punches, adapt.
Right, and that's resilience, isn't it?
Totally. Even when things feel crazy, we have that inner strength to figure it out.
And those detours, sometimes they lead to the best places.
Okay, what about this one? Prompt 10. What is one small action you can take today to move you closer to the person you aspire to be? This one is so simple, but so powerful.
Yeah, it reminds you that you don't have to do everything at once.
Just one small step.
LeStallion talks about the compound effect of small actions
Right, like those little things we do every day, they add up.
to big changes over time.
It all comes back to that journey, you know? 1,000 miles starts with a single step.
I love that. Well, I think that brings us to the end of our deep dive.
I know, I'm kind of sad it's over. So many great prompts, so much to think about.
Me too. But it's not really over, is it? It's just the beginning.
Because now we get to take all this and, like, actually put it into practice.
Right. Journaling isn't just about thinking, it's about doing.
It's a tool for self-discovery, for growth.
For becoming the best versions of ourselves.
Exactly. So to everyone listening, we hope you'll pick up your journals and see where these prompts lead you. Happy writing.
Happy writing.